be giving each person 2 minutes in time to speak. I'm sorry. No, we're not seating time.
I'm a small farmer. I live near Desert Hot Springs, unincorporated Desert Hot Springs, and I'm with People Over Pollution. I want to illustrate my point. I'm glad you received my letter finally, with what I like to call magic hats. I'm chairman of CVAC, John Benoit. We have a great idea for a bike path to reunite all of Coachella Valley cities. Fantastic idea. But we got no funds. We got no money. I'm State Senator John Benoit, and I am co-authoring AB 1318 to create some funds. It's going to help all of the residents of Coachella Valley. Hi, I'm County Supervisor John Benoit, and we're going to shove the Sentinel Power Plant down the throats of the residents of Coachella Valley, and we're going to get some money from the Sentinel. Howdy. I'm John Benoit. I'm on the board of the AQMD. I help decide where the funds go from the Sentinel Power Plant. So let me just see if I can find anything in my hat. Whoa, looky here. I done found me a bike path. It's magic. It's a miracle. That's the point we're trying to make about the conflict of interest here. I have a couple more points.
Sorry, but your time is up.
I represent 1,800 people. We have a petition for 1,800 people against this.
It could be 18 million. You have the same time as everybody else. 2 minutes. Thank you for your testimony. Ms. Crause?
Hi. Hello. I would like to read to you a letter to the editor that appeared this morning in the Desert Sun, Friday, January 4th, a letter to the editor. At the bottom of page B9. Power plant already emitting particulates. It appears that the Sentinel Power Plant being constructed by Gemma Power Systems is about ready to power up. I was standing in my backyard about a half mile from the plant last week, and I think I witnessed the first test firing of the plant. Smoke was rising from the southernmost smokestack upward of 200 feet into the evening sky. I am hoping this test fire was an anomaly and does not portend things to come. If so, there is disaster for the community in the future. Assurances were made that it would produce a limited amount of particulates into the air. It appears that this may not be so. When in full production, 800 megawatts, property values will sink even further than they have already. Also, the pre-construction estimates were based upon the plant operating 15% to 20% of the time. I suspected this would be the outcome of the construction. However, I have no opportunity to protest, receiving no notice of the EIR draft, nor any other correspondence from the proponents of this project. Living my life in twilight, Tom Covey, North Palm Springs. That's pretty amazing. Today's paper. Just from the test firing, it's disgusting. This fires 200 feet into the air and more is disgusting. From one smokestack. Thank you very much.
Can you respond to that?
Well,
It is. I have no idea personally if they've test fired the plant, but they go through a test firing of the plants. Our inspectors go out and evaluate the project when the project is ready to operate, along with our engineering staff. They're required to provide us with emissions reports. The facility is operating under permits from our agency, which limits the amount of pollution that can come from the facility. In addition, I think it's important to point out the decision to put that plant there did not rest with the South Coast AQMD. The plant is permitted through the California Energy Commission. And in the particular case of this plant, the plant also was approved through a process through the Public Utilities Commission of the state of California. And the plant, to our knowledge, will be operating in full compliance with all the applicable rules and regulations of this air district.
It's not a conversation between you and him. Conversation between me and him. The point she makes is good. You know, if somebody is firing up, test firing a plant, and it's got a plume 200 feet in the air, and the executive director says, I don't know anything about it,
But
it's not really satisfactory to me, and I can understand why it wouldn't be satisfactory to her.
Dr. Burke, we will send some staff out to evaluate and investigate what has been shared with us today, but and I will attempt to have staff there when they fire up the plant as well. But, you know, we didn't, to my knowledge, receive any complaints directly to the agency, or we would have sent somebody out at the time somebody observed a problem.
Supervisor?
Thank you. Just wanted to comment. It's interesting to me that, as you state, Mr. Wallerstein, that the authority and the permitting to establish a plant, it comes from the Energy Commission and through the PUC. Were we involved in that decision-making process?
In terms of the Energy Commission consults with us. They require a declaration from us that an initial analysis of the plant's applications shows that the plant would comply with all rules and regulations of this air district.
So we issued a position?
A determination of compliance based on the permit applications and our engineering staff's evaluation that the facility would comply with all our rules and regulations, had the appropriate design and pollution controls.
And all of the determining demographics and geographics, I would presume, logically, were included. And if all of that was done, why then now are these concerns being raised that the plant is going into operation?
Well, in terms of our analysis, we analyzed the plant for all of our rules and regulations, including our air toxic regulations. Since the primary permitting authority under state laws with the Energy Commission, they perform the environmental assessment document. They have a CEQA equivalency program. And so the CEC did a full analysis and air quality modeling of potential health impacts from the plant and evaluated that as part of their process.
Supervisor?
Yeah, thank you. I have not been directly involved in many of the ways that were characterized with this process, but I am a resident of the Coachella. I've been following the news, and in the first firing of this one phase of the plant was reported, and as was indicated, it did create a smoke plume for a short period of time. Reading what I did, there were inspectors on site from the EPA and other agencies. I'm not sure if anybody from AQMD was there, but there were a lot of agencies listed by the company that said that they were there, they monitored, and this is a process. When you build a brand new generator with brand new parts and they're heated for the very first time, there are processes, there's oils, there's other items that are going to burn off in the first few minutes of operation. And that was what was witnessed when this first of the, I think, 8 different stacks was fired for the very first time. All the regulatory agencies that were there indicated that they anticipated this, that it's a one-time event, that the plant will be required to operate within the confines of the maximums allowed, and that this plant is the most recent and cleanest design of its type. If anything, it'll replace a lot of generating facilities that are a whole lot more polluting than it is, because it is this later generation. So while it's unfortunate that when you start a new piece of equipment, it emits an amount of pollution at the startup, I think we've all seen that in our own homes when you turn on the heater the first time after the summer. There are those things we have to get through to get to the cleaner process at the end.
I was going to ask, did you have a role when you were state highway patrolman in this, but I guess not. Okay. Okay, now we're going to start with the balance of the testimony. Vandell at the one microphone and Cromwell at the other microphone.